Today I fucked up by falling for an escort. I'm a lonely, nearly 40-year-old divorced man, and for the last 9 months or so I've been scratching both my social and sexual itches by seeing various escorts every 2 weeks or so. It was going fine. I enjoyed chatting with the ladies I was meeting, then progressing to generally enjoyable sex. A few months ago I met a new lady who I hit it off with. We had a massively similar range of other interests, and for clarity, this wasn't her just pretending to be interested in the same things, as these were things she volunteered first, similar sense of humor, and the sex was pretty damn good. I decided to keep seeing her regularly, but soon realized I was developing the feels. I decided to ask her on a date, making it clear it would be a personal engagement rather than a professional one, which she politely declined, which was fine, it was what I was expecting. We continued seeing each other on a semi-regular basis. A month or two later, I decided I was starting to have difficulty separating my feelings from our time together, so I decided it was time to move on before things got any worse. I met her for a final time, explaining to her why I could no longer see her as a client. This is where things got weird. I expected her, based on our previous interactions, to understand this. Instead, she unexpectedly became quite emotional and said she didn't want to stop seeing me. After more discussion, she asked for my phone and promptly entered her proper name and personal phone number into it. This, I know, is basically breaking rule number 1 for escorts, which is never reveal your personal details because of the issues over safety. She wanted me to get back in touch with her about a week afterwards, as she was aware I had care of my children for a period of time, and to organize an actual date with her. Today was the end of my time with my kids, so I sent her a message asking her when she was available to meet up. She responded saying her boss had found out that she had given me her personal contact info and was mad at her because he believed in doing so she had lost me as a client. She had already effectively lost me as a client before she did this, as I had made it clear we wouldn't be meeting professionally anymore. She asked if we could delay meeting up and if I would come back to her as a client, which would get the heat from the boss off her, with the intent that once things had cooled down we could see each other without him knowing. The cynic in me says that there was never any intention to go out, and that this was all just a desire to keep me as a client. But what confuses that for me is her giving me her personal details. Having been a client of this industry for some time now, I know how seriously these ladies guard their personal details, and handing them over for the sake of trying to retain one semi-regular client seems unlikely. I know also there is the possibility that her boss is coercing her to try and do this, e.g. threatening to stop her working as an escort. The unfortunate end to the story is despite having convinced myself that there might actually be a genuine connection between us, one that could develop into something more, I've had to make the decision to just walk away. It's left me feeling both depressed at my hopes of finally having met someone being dashed, stupid for tricking myself into believing it in the first place, and angry that if this was a genuine connection, the circumstances of our meeting basically ruined any chances. TLR. I managed to convince myself that there was a chance of a genuine relationship with an escort who I had been seeing for a few months, only to be disabused of that delusion today, and now I'm depressed and venting at my own stupidity. Yeah, how the hell would her boss have found out, unless she told him? Makes no sense. It's a scam. The age-old, guys, I'm pretty sure this stripper actually likes me. No, I'm serious. Don't be embarrassed, my man, happens to all of us. Shout out to Raven from Night Moves in a Boise, ID circa 2007. You gave me your headband, I gave you my heart. And $300. I'll always remember Candy in Amsterdam. She told me she wanted to get out of the lap dancing business and only I could help her. She gave me her real personal details, and said I was special and no one else had them. She'll be in contact to return that bridging loan I gave her, any day now, I know it. How would you know that this was her real, personal data and not just another alias? I think she tricked you, bro. She is good. I don't mean that in a sexual way, I mean that in a business way. I'm about 90% sure she doesn't have a boss and that the real name is one of many. Like others said, I'm not the first to say it. Sex workers sell fantasy first and foremost. Remember that. You can get porn for nominally free. You can make yourself orgasm for free. Hopefully, I've been on SSRIs so I know it can be difficult. But once you pay another person, directly or indirectly, for sexual services you are buying fantasy as well as sexual connection and pretend personal connection. This game she is playing is part of her business, which is fantasy. She is good. Take it as a positive that there are like-minded people out there and that you don't need to be alone. Try some dating apps and see if you can find a connection that isn't centered around a monetary transaction. Today I fucked up by saving someone's life and embarrassing myself in the process. I work the graveyard shift and ride a bike to work, like most people in my city. So I was getting home and I noticed that a man in front of me is a bit distracted. He is staring at a woman's ass 50 meters ahead and is approaching a crossing at full speed with a light that just turned red. I think he's just gonna stop, but no, he keeps riding. At the last moment I, in my tired mind, scream out, "Stop looking at her nice ass, you idiot." The man starts to brake and stops 10 centimeters from the hood of a truck and barely avoids being run over. The truck honks at him and the girl stops and stares at me. She didn't take my shout as a compliment, it seems, huffs and just cycles on, leaving me with a red face and feeling like a pervert. Too long did not read. Man almost bikes into traffic while staring at a girl's ass. I stop him by shouting out in agreement and ruins her and my day in the process. Why'd you say, nice ass? I mean, you can easily recover from an embarrassing moment, but you can't always recover from being run over by a truck moment, so I'd say that was a good call, lol. Whatever happened to a good old-fashioned, look out? Oh well, rather being embarrassed than having to see bits and pieces of human flying around. See, no evil, good job. I wish my ass could cause traffic accidents, sad face. Good job, but also what the fuck made you think she'd take it as a compliment, LMAO? It seems, you say, like it's some big mystery.